Thank you, Mileka, and this is Jose doing a special report for BBC. Fake news, fake reality. Can you trust the world in which you're living? Can you trust that what the news gives you is all real? What we as the audience must understand is that news is an interpretation of the truth. This interpretation is produced and manipulated by whoever is in control of the news channel, usually being a large institution or company. They produce the news, and we, the audience, consume the news and accept it as the truth, and this helps to shape the decisions we make. It helps to shape the reality in which we're living in. This report will be investigating the future of the news, how young people consume news today and in the future, whether they believe what they see on the news, and the impact and importance of what has been described as fake news. Over to my colleague Noelia now, who has been interviewing students from a South East London school.
Let's start off today's report by asking young students about how they access today's news. Here I am with Jamal. How and where do you find out what is going on in the world?
Well, for the places that I would go to find news is usually on social media websites such as Instagram. If I can't find it on that, I would go into YouTube's trending list.
I would use like Google or social media websites.
I normally wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and go to my living room and watch TV.
Through the internet, newspapers, billboards, pretty much everywhere.
I go to Google and I go to Wikipedia.
In future, how would you imagine information to be communicated to you?
So there could be like a recommended section for what you might be interested, just seeing from what you've usually watched.
Faster ways.
They would probably just keep it the same as it is now.
Probably by magazines because I read a lot.
The internet, newspapers, the news itself.
Do you trust what you hear on the news?
Not all the time.
I trust like the news on TV, but sometimes I don't trust what's on the internet.
I trust it because it's been on, because everyone is seeing it.
I trust it because it seems the most safest and secure way that we get our news.
Most of the times I trust, but sometimes Wikipedia people type in what they think and they're not actually sure if they're saying it correctly or not.
What is fake news and how can you tell the difference between fake and real news?
Well, if I had to find out fake news, I would find out two completely different articles, and just from my basic opinion, I'd probably analyse which one I find is real and which one's not.
I can't really tell the difference between them, but most of the time I would just go with the news even if it is fake.
And sometimes I do a little research to see if it's true or not.
Fake news doesn't seem to have any examples or proof. However, real news seems to have many examples, proofs, pictures, videos.
Fake news is when they guess and they're not sure about what they're saying, and real news is when they are actually sure that it's real or not.
Thank you, Noelia. Very interesting. In today's society, it is the youth who intake a large proportion of news information, whether this is through new media or old media portals. This group is a concentrated mass of purchasing power that can easily be manipulated in order to subvert ideas and decisions. Everything we hear, everything we see from any media platform is tailored to the specific audience that are viewing it. Nothing we see can be described as 100% truth because the media will always manipulate it in some way. Therefore, one could argue that all news is fake news. This is why, as a young person who consumes media information, I have put together my top tips for when watching the news. 1. Always consider the source of information being communicated. 2. Always look at the different range of news programs covering the same event. These could be on TV, radio, print, and online. 3. Always be an active watcher or listener of the news and question what is and why this information is being communicated to you. 4. Remember, news is extremely important because it influences people's beliefs, and people act on the belief that they hold. If someone believes that it is going to rain, they may take an umbrella with them to work. Similarly, if they believe that they are a country under attack, they would consent to starting a war. So, be active, be informed, and knowledge is power. Back to the studio now with Malika.